welcome back to our holidays. We are in Paris, France. So what now we're going to be making is dressing. In the south of the United States, we call it dressing. In the north of the United States, you call it stuffing. What is the difference between the two that you might ask? Well, stuffing is stuffing. Dressing is, I don't know why they call it dressing, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, with that being said, we need to go over some ingredients that you will need to make a wonderful dressing. First and foremost is, if you did watch our cornbread video, we do have our fresh cornbread. You never want to use fresh cornbread, but as you can tell, we have been eating quite a bit of it because it's that good. So with that being said, we have some poulet, which is going to be cooked chicken. We cook that in chicken broth, very good for you. Have a little bit of sage, poultry seasoning, chili powder, salt, butter of course. What we're going to be adding to that, green bell pepper, onion, and celery. So pretty cool. In New Orleans, this is called the Holy Trinity. If you omit the celery, which I just threw over my back, and put a carrot in, it's called mirepoix. So with that being said, what we did is dice into small dices, 1 medium onion, 1 medium green bell pepper. Do not go on steroids for this. And then also 3 stalks of celery. And when I say 3 stalks of celery, I literally mean 3 stalks of celery. Cut off the ends because all you want is the heart here, and then just slice it down the middle and then go again to a small dice. So I'm going to put this over here. And what I did, I went ahead and sauteed all of our Holy Trinity, as you can tell. We just did it to a soft stage, cooked it in a little bit of 2 tablespoons of olive oil for about 7 minutes. So now we need to assemble everything, because we're making a casserole, and then we're going to pop it in the oven. The oven's set at 400. We're going to drop it back down to 375 once we put the casserole in. So let's get started. So I have a big bowl. I have cornbread. If you want your friends and family and kids to help out, this is the time where they get to help out because they just get to scrunch up cornbread. Make it rain, as some people say. You can go really high with it, be like make it rain. Just make sure you get everything in the bowl. Alright, use your hands here, most valuable tool beside your mind. Just gonna get in there, tear up a little bit. And the good thing with making cornbread the way that we've done it, you have that texture imbalance, so you're gonna get some hard bits in that casserole and then also some soft bits as well. Got a little sniffle, sorry about that. Always wash your hands after you sniffle. Alright, and we're back. And as you can tell, I've already started making a mess with the cornbread. It's perfectly normal. What we're going to do is tear up a little bit of this poulet, which is French for chicken. I know my French is very, very good. Not really, I guess. Alright, so this is the time that during the recipe where you say something funny to keep you entertained. I really don't have anything funny to keep you entertained. I'm just pulling some chicken. Alright, I'm going to add this to it. Pull that off there. Cool beans. Nice. Nice. Alright, go ahead and let's add everything in. I'm going to use my hand again, maybe not. Maybe a spatula. Going in with everything from your celery to your onions that we cooked off. And whenever you're adding spices, I'll go ahead and say this. Whenever you add spices, always add those toward the end of anything that you cook. If you ever thought about the Grand Canyon, if you see different layers of the Grand Canyon, that's how you need to think about cooking. Cooking needs to be different layers. Or if you like music, it's kind of like a symphony. You don't ever need to have one thing, one level all the time. So that's why you add layers or depths of flavor, quote unquote. So now we're just going to mix this around. And you're going, Bert, how is this going to make a casserole? There's no liquid. Oh! We do have our chicken stock in the back. Very good thing. Now I'm going to go ahead and crack 2 eggs into here. Again, do not crack on the side of the bowl. Booyah. If you can hear in the distance, that is a church bell. We do have the window open because it is hot in here. Nellie said that once or twice. I can't remember. Alright. Super. Now go ahead and add your chicken stock. What we're going to do now is add half. Always add half at a time. Never add the full on. use your man hand with this, or your one-man hand with this. This already smells really good, by the way. Now we're gonna go ahead and add the second half. And now your second half, to incorporate the herbs a little bit easier, I'm gonna go ahead and add those in there with the salt as well. And this is a pizza pan. I'm using a pizza pan to make dressing. I understand that. Booyah and booyah. Again, I'm gonna mix everything around. Whenever you're making dressing too, you need it to be soupy. Some people might say, hey Burton, it needs not to be soupy. Just trust me on this. My grandmother raised me and she didn't let me cook dressing for 4 years. I had to watch her cook dressing for 4 years before I could cook dressing. So just trust me on it. All right, so now we have that soupy texture. Some people might say also that you need to use a casserole dish that you then spray. Don't even go about that. It's perfectly fine, just put it in there. All right, just gonna wash my hand, hit something, come back to you. All right, so now in our casserole dish that we have here, all we're gonna do is just pour everything in. Yes. Yes. Life is grand. Oh, yes. Yes. And again, you want to see a little bit of water on the top, texture-wise. And yes, the bell did just dawn at the church again. All right, so now what we're going to do, use some aluminum foil. Going to go right over the top of it. I like to do a crisscross pattern. Makes you jump. And just fold it in. Boom. Do a little turn. Boom. Boom. And boom. Now the one thing that's going to differentiate your and our now dressing is that we're going to cook this just like any normal dressing. We're going to cook it at 350 for 45 minutes. But after, we're actually going to take the aluminum foil off and then put it on the broil setting. And so what that's going to do at the top is actually make it really brown and have a texture, because it's going to crisp up the top. A lot of people, they never do this. So this is a trade secret that you now have, and if you like to give it to other people, tell them that they need to pay you first. So we're going to do some movie magic. I'm going to snap my fingers eventually, and I'm going to pull this casserole out that we've magically cooked in maybe 3 seconds. So come back. All right. Yes, casserole. Yeah, voila. So now we cooked our casserole now for 45 minutes. Oh, look at that softness. So we're gonna pull the aluminum foil off. We're gonna set our oven now to broil, and we're gonna cook the top of the casserole. So I probably need to take the sweet potato casserole out or just change it. Once we cook that for 5 minutes, we'll pull everything out, and then you'll see the difference of how people do a traditional casserole, which is just gonna be soft all the way through. And then we have the Top Hankins casserole. So movie magic time. So we've let our oven go to the broil setting, and what this does is that it allows for the top of the dressing to brown. Close this oven back up. Traditional dressings slash stuffings, they won't have this browning on top. What I like about it is actually it has a texture difference to it. So it's going to be a little bit hard once you go through, and then you'll go into the softness of the actual casserole. Do not try to eat it immediately. Let it sit for 10 minutes. If you try to eat it immediately, guess what's going to happen? You're going to burn your mouth. You can't taste the turkey. You can't go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So you got it, dude.